What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Dricus du Plessis talks about Khamzat Chimaev's wrestling. Recently, DDP appeared in an interview with Fox 32 where he talked about his UFC 319 fight against Khamzat Chimaev. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. During the interview, DDP was asked about Khamzat's wrestling heading into this fight. This is what he had to say.
Yeah, I mean, Khamzat obviously world-class wrestling, grappling, but you know, at this level of the sport, everybody's world-class. You know, this is not grappling or wrestling, this is MMA. And that's where I'm going to exploit. Is being the best in my, we're not fighting for a wrestling title, we're not fighting for a grappling title. We are fighting for the UFC title. And that's where I am the best. I'm not the best wrestler, I'm not the best grappler or best striker. But when you put all of those things together, if you combine it and that's the sport we do, I am the best in the world.
As we're on the topic of DDP, he's currently in Chicago doing a bunch of things in the media. Yesterday, he got the chance to throw the first pitch at Wrigley Field for the Chicago Cubs. At one point, he started squaring up with the mascot and he ran away. Check this out. As UFC 319 is right around the corner, what are your predictions for the main event? Let us know in the comments below. Khabib reveals sad news on Islam Makhachev. During a press conference, Khabib revealed that he believes Islam Makhachev only has 1.5 or maybe 2 years left before he retires. According to Khabib, it's better to leave the sport and finish than allow the sport to finish you. He goes on to say that Islam is getting older and that everybody should retire from MMA by 35 because this is a young man's sport. Here's what Khabib had to say.
Islam maybe, my honest opinion, 1.5, 2 years, because age is gonna be October 34. Nobody gonna be sent. When time comes, they don't ask what's your name. Of course, I finished when I was 32. I don't even begin. It was, I have this situation in my life, that's why. But when you become 35, you need to start doing this, because leave this sport for young guys. Because when you become 35 and you don't finish, somebody gonna finish. Why? It's better to finish. Why? After 35, you're never gonna be same. Like people can talk whatever they want. When you pass your prime, you're gonna fight only for money. Like Allah give you 7 years, for example. You finish 40. And last 5 years, you was fight only for money, but they knock you out 10 times. For what? Go and work Uber driver. It's much better to be still inside the cage.
Do you think Islam should retire before 35, or do you think with his grappling heavy style that his longevity can outlast most fighters? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Artem Lobov breaks silence on Conor McGregor lawsuit. Amid news of a grudge match with Zubaida Tukhugov being finalized for the October PFL card in Abu Dhabi, Artem Lobov joined Ariel Helwani on the Ariel Helwani show to discuss the fight and his fractured relationship with Conor McGregor. Back in 2022, Lobov filed a lawsuit against McGregor, alleging that the former champ did not honor an agreement that the two had in place that would have seen the Russian Hammer make 5% off McGregor's cut of the $600 million Proper 12 sale. Now, as the two prepare for the first trial date on December 9th, Lobov feels as though McGregor has changed. Obviously, things are not good between me and Conor. We always had each other's back. I feel like I showed him unmatched loyalty. I would dare for him to name anyone from all of his mates now, before, whenever, who was more loyal to him than I was. I did everything for him. Whenever we would do camps, I was the only one to never accept a cent from him. There would always be money paid to everybody in the camps, and rightfully so, because it was hard work. But I'd always turn it down and say, Conor, I'm not taking this, and I'm not taking any money from you. The agreement has always been that if I help him with business, I help him make money. Well, then he's going to give me my cut. Additionally, Lobov dished on the upcoming December 9th trial, sharing an update after McGregor celebrated a judge ordering his former training partner to pay legal fees for the case several months back.
I found more evidence that I really wanted to submit that obviously was helping my case.
Yes.
Conor's team tried to block that evidence because it was too close to trial, but so I had to go into court, and my lawyers had to fight his lawyers, and I was allowed to accept evidence because the judge could see that this is real evidence. This is not some fake stuff. This is real, and just unfortunate that I found it so close to the trial, So I got a new trial date, but the costs are all reserved till trial,
Ahead of his first MMA fight since 2018, Lobov also revealed that he has yet to receive his full pay from his BKFC fight with Paulie Malignaggi in 2019. BKFC still owes me money. My fight with Paulie Malignaggi, I never got my pay-per-view money. David Feldman knows that it made 200K pay-per-views. He told me, look, you have to wait for the pay-per-view 8 months or whatever before we pay you. So I waited that. Then I was messaging. He was like, sorry, we just forgot, we're going to pay you. Then I finally got my legal team to contact him. What he said, look, we love Artem. Of course we're going to pay him. Unfortunately, at this time, we've reinvested all the money back into BKFC. We want to make it as big as possible. We need to continue to reinvest. Once we're able to finally get some money out of it, of course, we're going to pay him. So I'm waiting for this. I think Dave is a man of his word. I think he will pay me. It's about $300,000 that they owe me. Lobov also revealed that he didn't negotiate his purse for his upcoming fight with Zubaida Tukhugov. From the sounds of things, this is about more than money. He's giving me some purse I didn't negotiate at all, it's just whatever. I will be able to pay my team, obviously my coaches, so I'll be able to pay them, and then I'll make a nice donation as well to a kids charity, so some good will come out of it for sure. So far, McGregor has yet to react to the news of the bout. Paddy Pimblett will be a bigger star than Ilia Topuria? Ilia Topuria has quickly cemented himself as one of the biggest global stars in the UFC, with packed crowds of fans recently singing his walkout song during a concert in Spain. Despite that, former UFC heavyweight Brendan Schaub believes that Paddy the Baddy has an it factor that Topuria doesn't. The way he sees things, if the streaking Scouser gets the next lightweight title fight and beats Ilia Topuria, he'll wind up becoming an even bigger star. During a recent episode of the Jackson podcast, he explained why.
I love Armin. I love Paddy. Have you had Paddy in here?
No, I want him on.
That mother is so special.
Paddy Pimblett.
Dude,
talk to me about that. Why?
Checks every box. There's just certain, I've interviewed so many guys, and then when Paddy walks in, Rampage has a similar, he has the sauce. When Paddy Pimblett walks in, you're just like, oh, dude. It's just, you have to pay attention to him. He knows all his angles, knows all his cameras. When he's doing like a bit, he'll talk into the camera. He just has it, man. And he has it, it's dripping. He can't help it.
Yeah.
And then he has the skill too. It's like, and that's why he's going to jump Armin. That's why they're doing it. Because if he wins, buddy, you got your next Conor. He's that, he'll be bigger than Ilia.
Bigger than what Sugar Sean they were hoping would be? Really?
He'd be we're never going to get another Conor because the landscape's different. The closest you're going to get if Paddy becomes champ.
So far, there's been no word on who the UFC will give the next lightweight title fight to. However, given the long-standing beef between Pimblett and Topuria, the baddie may wind up jumping the line at 155. Renato Moicano sends a warning to Benoit Saint-Denis. After getting back in the win column with a submission win over Kyle Prepelic back in May, Benoit Saint-Denis is hoping to make it 2 in a row when he collides with Mauricio Hufi next month. During a recent appearance on the Ariel Helwani show, Money Moicano sent a warning to Saint-Denis, predicting that Hufi will be picking up a first-round knockout. I don't think that card is on the table. I don't think Hufi is losing to BSD. Not any chance. I think he'll knock BSD out in the first round. I think Hufi, he is the future of the lightweight division. He's pretty good. I know he was not tested, but because of a lot of stuff was going on. Bobby Green isn't an easy guy to knock out like that, and he did it in the first round. Of course, Bobby Green is a little bit older right now, but I think Hufi is the real deal. If Hufi's able to pick up his 4th win in a row, he could wind up stealing Saint-Denis' ranking with a win next month. UFC updates. While Fight Week is underway for this weekend's UFC Vegas 109 card, the UFC has added a light heavyweight bout between Cody Brundage and Eric Makhachev to this card at the 11th hour. The bout will see Brundage look to get back in the win column after a loss to Mansour Abdul Malik was overturned last month. While on the flip side, Makhachev will be looking to bounce back from a loss to Nursultan Ruziboev back in February. Next, we got an update on the Dana White's Contender Series card on August 19th, with John Kunneman announcing he's been forced off the card via a post on Instagram. I'm heartbroken to announce I've severely hurt my rib and I won't be competing August 19th. Initially, I injured it and I pushed through a wrestling scramble and I heard a loud pop. I can't even breathe or turn without excruciating pain. This is horrible. It felt like the stars were aligning and truly my moment to show the UFC and the fans who I am. This opportunity meant everything to me. I'm heartbroken. I worked so hard for the last 16 weeks. I put in so much work and leveled up so much. I've never had to pull out of a fight before. Next up, we have an update on the UFC Shanghai card later this month, where Michel Pereira will now fight Kyle Daukaus following the withdrawal of Marco Tulio. Pereira will be looking to snap a 2-fight skid. On the flip side, Daukaus will be looking to pick up a big win in his UFC debut. Next month, the UFC also added 2 fights to the UFC Perth card that will excite local fans, with Junior Tafa set to fight Ibo Aslan and Jimmy Crute set to fight Ivan Ursulan. Looking ahead towards October, a bout between Veronica Hardy and Brogan Walker has also been added to the UFC 320 card, with Hardy looking to get her first win since 2024 and Walker looking to get her first win inside the octagon following a 2-year hiatus. Last but not least, Yoel Romero's BKFC debut has officially been set for September 12th against Theo Daukaus at BKFC 80 following back-to-back dirty boxing wins by the former Olympian. Belal Muhammad sparring with Streamer. It remains to be seen who Belal Muhammad will fight next in the octagon, but in the interim, the former welterweight champion is getting some training in with YouTuber and streamer Neon. Well, not exactly. Recently, Neon hung out with Muhammad and the two decided to lace up the gloves. Here's how things unfolded.
Not friends, I want to be friends.
Go!
Oh,
We're not friends in this.
wait, what? I thought we were doing this as friends.
What are you doing?
Your hands piss me off, bro.
1 minute.
It's a lot to handle.
You gotta give him one good one, buddy. Come on. 5 seconds, let's go. You gotta give him one good one. Finish the flow.
Now we're wrestling.
30 seconds.
Oh, whoa.
Hey, come on.
30 seconds. Do the Max Holloway. Come on. There we go.
Oh, my shot don't fall. Oh.
Good.
Nice. 10.
This isn't the first time Neon has entered the MMA space. A little while ago, he successfully created a wave of clicks by asking Nate Diaz if he was going to retire after he got knocked out by Jorge Masvidal in their boxing match. Diaz ended up winning that fight. Neon was also taken down hard by TJ Dillashaw while messing around with the former UFC champion in the cage. Now, as far as Belal's next real fight, it's not clear when or who the former champion will face. After losing the title to Jack Della Maddalena in May, Muhammad did push for a bout with Kamaru Usman. Via his own podcast several weeks ago, Muhammad said this: "I'm going to be the guy that gets the belt again. I'm 1 fight away from winning the belt. I'm not going to wait for a rematch. I want to show you guys that I'm still the best in the world." When I'm looking at the landscape of the division, if Kamaru wins against Joaquin Buckley, I feel like it'll be Kamaru. For me, the dream month would be October, but not all the way in Abu Dhabi. If you need a refresher, Usman did beat Buckley in June, but as this video is being produced, it's not known what's going to be next for either former champ. Dricus du Plessis reveals toughest fight in the UFC. Throughout his UFC career, Dricus du Plessis has fought and beat a who's who of middleweights. Although nobody's been able to defeat DDP inside the octagon, the champion indicated that it was Israel Adesanya who gave him his toughest fight. During a recent interview with Betway South Africa, he explained,
My toughest opponent to date, well, that's a very open-ended question because there were fights that were the hardest for me. I have to say probably Adesanya was the best guy I faced in his specific area. Probably the fight I was the most nervous for. Just in terms of how good he is, he can catch you with anything, anytime. You know, all the time I spent looking up to him and studying him because he was the benchmark, knowing what he's capable of. I think he is the best guy I've faced, and obviously if you watch that fight, it was one hell of a fight. It was a tough night at the office for both of us. And but then when you just go on pure toughness, you have to go with either Brad Tavares or Sean Strickland. Just the amount of damage they were able to take and just keep going.
With a win over Khamzat Chimaev on August 16th, DDP will be just 2 title defenses shy of Adesanya's 5 at middleweight. Daniel Cormier faces major backlash. The UFC's year-end pay-per-view card in December is typically viewed as one of the biggest of the year for the promotion. The way Daniel Cormier sees things, the UFC should end the year with a bang and book 2 women's MMA super fights in the main and co-main events of the year-end pay-per-view. During a recent episode of his Good Guy Bad Guy show with Chael Sonnen, DC weighed in, saying, "What about end of the year card? Amanda Kayla, Weili, Valentina. I think that we should go all-female in December to end the year." The MMA community called out DC for wanting the all-women's card. Here's what they had to say. LMAO, wanting 2 women to headline the end of the year card is insane, LMFAO. Will be the worst idea business-wise and cost UFC millions of pay-per-views. Respectfully, no one's gonna watch if it's all women's card. Disrespectfully, sounds like a good idea though. I'm a true fan, I'd watch. Very interested in the Amanda return fight. An all-female main event to close out the year? Let's hope not. 2 women fights for a pay-per-view, a main? What's the IQ level of DC? No one's gonna watch if it's aired as a fight night. Quality of the women fight is very low, and there's no specific fan following for any of them, but Kayla vs Nunes is good enough. They should never do that unless it's also cross-promotion, bringing Cyborg, Pacheco, Decheva, etc. Otherwise, the UFC doesn't have the female roster for a bad women's card. All UFC ladies would be rough unless they matchmake for squashes. I'm a part, but unless it was a free pay-per-view, this would be the lowest purchased event in the history of the UFC. Least pay-per-view buys of all time incoming. UFC legend pitches a Saturday night off for fans. Pass on that, sorry. Would you be interested in seeing an all-women's pay-per-view card in the UFC, or do you agree with the fans saying it's a horrible idea? Let us know in the comments. We have a favor to ask. Help us reach 200,000 subscribers on MMA Zone by subscribing and turning on notifications for daily MMA content. Seriously, we rarely miss a day.